Hi guys.
Hi everyone and welcome to
In Mind We Trust.
Yay! Another episode, another day. How are you feeling, Aku?
I am excited for this one. I'm excited for talking about something close to, I think all of our hearts. We all go through this.
And I think I've shared so much with you anyway. We both have off camera. So now we bring it to you guys.
We are talking about
body image and everything about it.
Yes. Good, bad, ugly.
Yeah. Implications, everything.
I have a few questions that I'll ask you, and we'll both obviously take chances answering these questions. We're coming from people who have gone through experiences with body image issues, with positively identifying ourselves as who we are, and now coming to you and disclosing all our secrets and fears.
I mean, we're also both psychologists, so we're definitely going to bring in like a professional angle to this, but also lived experience. Like Akshay rightly says, we're going to talk about people who've actually sat with some of our body image concerns ourselves, and we hope this helps.
Yes. Okay. So my question goes
to us.
Is what are some of the causes we see that lead to body image concerns and issues?
Even when I'm looking at research or when I'm looking at what I've seen in my practice and personal life, it's the systems that we come from, especially the family, that influences us about what a good body, what a good color skin, what a good height, weight, what a good person from a particular gender needs to look like. So it's family, schools, extremely important system again, college, workplaces, and very importantly today, social media. The media that we consume so much. So, and that we've grown up consuming. So I think those areas they influence us a lot.
Agreed. So individual, culture, social, society.
Yeah.
So it's a three-tiered experience that all of us go through. And I think it's also about, where you are growing up, what is the media focusing on.
Absolutely.
What are they associating as a good look, physical appearance, and what are they projecting onto the society, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I agree. Okay, so within obviously this space, I want to ask you also, what are some messages that were given when we were growing up, and that has now led to maybe a concern or a positive outlook, right?
Yeah. I mean, I still remember, Akku, and I think you'll relate, growing up with a lot of fairness cream ads. And it was called also, like the names were Fair and Lovely. So it comes with an understanding that this color is good and all other colors are inadequate. Right. So I think color, hair ads, I know that there are very unrealistic messages given in society about, a woman has to have very long, silky, smooth and lots of hair on her mane, but anything lesser, because I grew up with the boy cut. So for me, that was just like, oh my God, am I not good enough? Yes. Am I inadequate? Am I not woman enough?
Right.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the also how women dress versus a man dresses to office. I think even that, the way somebody objectified something I grew up.
Yeah, I agree. So some things like you should get thinner, you look prettier.
Thinner, definitely.
You should not go out in the sun, you'll get darker. So again, the fairness aspect. Associating your looks to one of your family members, saying that, oh, your hips look like your aunt, your hands look like your aunt. But why? Why should we do that, right? Or why should I associate myself to my aunt? Right?
Also, sometimes the messaging is extremely confusing because somebody is saying, oh, this is so cute. Your little bit of fat is so cute because this is baby weight.
Yeah, chubby.
And then I don't know, 3 months later, you're like, oh my God, but this is not good and it's unhealthy for you.
Right.
So it's like, the messaging is also very confusing because everybody's telling you different things at different points.
Yes.
such that it feels like at no point is the body good enough.
Exactly. And I agree with you on the tomboy part or the boycott part, right? I was given the title of a tomboy because I had a boycott. I grew up with a
Oh
boycott.
my god,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, similar. And I was also, more active physically. So I would go out, play, be more physically, like I had energy, right? So I don't know why uh, that was seen as tomboyish, and we got this title.
Yeah.
Again, I proudly wear it. I don't mind it, but again, giving me a title like that made me more aggressive or brash.
But thank you for saying this, because then when labels are attached, everything, no, good, bad, or ugly
Yes.
labels are attached from
Yes.
childhood. Then it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
But then you're like, okay, I'll do this only, and these are my limitations.
So now, to ask you a question after that, or to ask us a question right after this, is what are the short term and the long term effects of going through things like this?
Absolutely.
Right.
So, because I work with this topic very closely professionally as a psychologist, I would say that I do want to talk about the connection between body image, how it affects us on a daily level, and a little longer term, you will see mental health effects. Okay, how it impacts your mental health, and from a longer term effect, how it affects your self-esteem. Okay, so there's a lot of research to show the connection between body image, mental health, and self-esteem, and in a good and a bad way. That's
Yes.
why the kind of messages we receive from people around us, and therefore what we internalize, will affect our mental health and
Yes.
self-esteem. I'll do the negative. I'll give you the negative cycle first, because I think positive we can then extrapolate from what I'm going to say. Let's say you're given a message of, listen, you're fat, okay? How that affects us at a mental health level is it starts deteriorating your confidence. It erodes your way of speaking in public,
Right.
or laughing, talking. It will affect your body language, right?
Yeah.
Your shoulders will droop. You probably want to avoid social situations.
Exactly.
The little more longer term, if it lasts for 6 months, 1 year, we start seeing people isolating themselves, depression. We see people becoming so anxious, and this is true even for kids, right? Because that's where socializing and all these messages of body image starts. So it will affect your mental health indicators of sleep, food, language, stuttering, confidence, conducting yourself in public, and therefore ahead in academics. It will not help you concentrate. It doesn't allow you to pay attention. There'll be bouts of crying. And the longer term effects of that, and which we see affecting us even into adulthood, is self-esteem, right?
Yeah.
You start feeling I'm inadequate, not good enough, I'm unloved, I'm unworthy.
Or you overcompensate. The recent news about young people having heart issues has just made me worry, because somewhere down the line I don't know if they were forced, but I feel like they are overdoing going to the gym, eating protein powders, because of probably a condition where they were doing something out of trauma. And
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing this
Yeah.
up. And this is an important point, bringing in men's mental health
and
perspective.
this news is
a lot of men. We are seeing a lot of
majorly
men. Because again, if you're not sharing this in safe spaces, and we're not talking about the vulnerabilities, and we're keeping it inside, that's when it affects your physical self. It will affect your heart and your pulse rate.
Right.
And your
And the other
blood
extreme side I'm seeing nowadays with young people is that even if they are hearing a lot of these body image blames, they are being very aggressive towards it. For example, they're like, hey, I'm fat and I'm going to be this way. You do whatever the heck you want. And I don't think that's the right approach. If you are overweight, if you're obese, and you have unhealthy lifestyle, I'm not telling you to work out to make you look thinner so that I will like you, or the society will like you. I'm saying this out of concern that you need to be healthy.
I fully agree that we need to be able to separate body image from health. Right? And of course, the society at large needs to be kinder in the messaging we give. But for each of us to be able to look at our bodies and see what our health determinants are,
Exactly.
and then work towards that
Exactly.
idea of health.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I think this is a very individualistic, at individual level, this needs to be addressed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because the society will say what they have to, your family will say what they have to, your friends, your basically everyone around you, the media will all say what the beauty standards say, right? They'll say something to you that makes sense to them. Not necessarily aiming at something negative towards you, or to say that you are ugly. It is coming out of just a social context, right? But at an individual level, if you understand where you are, for example, working out to be fit, working out to make sure that you can eat chocolates the next day, working out so that your blood sugar levels don't spike, working out so that your BP doesn't kill you, eating the right nutrition that your body needs and not overdosing yourself with protein and I don't know what not.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Akshay.
Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, I think a lot of our work for ourselves has to be at an individual level.
Yes.
But I will bring a layer of the social and
Sure,
systemic.
yes, I agree.
That even bodies that are regulating content, or families who are watching, or the news that we read, or the schools that we go to, or the colleges, offices, also environments need to
Yes.
adapt a more holistic approach to health.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
bodies,
Agreed.
Which of course then percolates to individuals. And
Yes.
I do believe that we require some amount of privilege at an individual level to then say,
Okay,
whatever
yeah.
these messages are, I will work towards myself,
it.
and my health is my individual.
Agreed. And I think it has come to a point where this aggression is coming out of a trauma response, right? Because they have been belittled at every stage, where their confidence is now shaken to a point where they don't want to address this. They're like, this is who I am, accept me the way I am, or you move ahead. But again, like, I'm coming from a point where, you know, I myself went through stuff, and I understand that sometimes my body looks weird in weird dresses or different kinds of dresses, and I don't like to see myself.
And what is even weird, right? That is also social construct.
That is a social construct. And so the whole idea that, you know, I don't feel good if I wear something that looks good on the rack but not on me is a feeling that I get, which is why I want to be like, okay, maybe I should work out a little. But now my idea of health has completely changed. I just want to be healthy. I just want to have a good routine in my life to make sure that, you know, I am internally well adjusted,
and also not trying to fit every social standard, because God knows every social standard is very unrealistic.
Exactly. And I can't, these for example, one of the questions that I had for us was the fact that AI filters and injectables are such a big thing today.
Absolutely.
With all of us hopping on the trends of chat GPT, making caricatures of us, and having an image of you from the early 60s, or I don't know those trends. But what I'm trying to say is, these are all these are all things that are not normal for humans. These are all AI generated. This is not something that any of us can reach.
You know, sometimes when I see these filters, you know, and you have friends or clients or family talking about, oh my God, that looks like ultimately beautiful, or look at the person's hair, or look at that person's skin. And it's so important to say, no, these are very idealistic standards. And like you rightly said, AI is it's artificial intelligence. It's called that for a reason. And I hope that a lot of us can reason that and resist that, because that's not how real people look. And I think having the right kind of role models, whether it's within the family or even celebrities, that are talking and addressing this is very important, because otherwise it's a thin line between what's good for me, but also, okay, what's good that society says is good for me, and then we do. Even with the injectables, right? Like you're seeing, of course, there's Botox and all of those injections, and now very recently, and as therapists we discuss this so often, the injectables of Monjaro and such drugs. And it's so important that these decisions, first of all, they are medical drugs.
Exactly.
Do not consume those drugs because an influencer is saying so, or because my favorite celebrity is on it and I see results. Talk to a doctor. Also, I think anybody who's been reading about these drugs will tell you that it is a drug in research right now. We only know the short-term implications of it, which is weight loss.
Yeah.
We also know some kind of long-term implications of it, which is loss of muscle and fat and affecting the bones, which is available in the public domain. But we don't know what are the longer-term effects of it, right? How is it affecting your organs, etc. And my only point is, while everybody to each their own using these drugs for whatever reason, the problem is not the drug. The problem is how have we reached here as a society where we say thin is good, or when we are going to skin lightening treatments to say this skin color is good,
Right.
or this hair color is good, or this eye color is good. And I think as a society we need to reflect and be like, what are we bringing up our girls and boys with?
I agree. And to answer that, I have written something down, right?
Please.
Constant exposure reshapes what the brain considers normal,
Thank you.
right? So this Snapchat dysmorphia is happening only because we believe that this is normal. Instagram filter that you add before posting it online so that your skin looks clean and your lips look perfect, you have eyelashes,
and kids are using all of this,
kids are
which
using
means
this.
we are training,
So
normalizing their
normalizing
brain very early.
Yeah, so you're normalizing this feature, and so this is going to lead to people starting to get work done to look like those filters.
Absolutely.
So again, I think it needs to come at every level, but this awareness at a certain age needs to come.
Yeah.
It will come with having ideals, like you said, and I think every one of us is going to have this dysmorphia. Every one of us.
To some level, I agree, Akshay. I fully agree, and that's why I think seeing representation of people look real in your families, on TV, in your schools, in your workplaces is important. Having discussions with real people, like when you talk to women in postpartum, okay, you need to talk to women, and they'll tell you how much this affects us. This culture of a certain standard. Also, when celebrity culture is, it glorifies women who lose weight in 3 months after pregnancy, and they're like, oh, hot body again. And I'm like, no, but that's great for her if she wanted to do that in the first place. Right. But if it's coming from any kind of social pressure, and also what is the messaging you're giving everybody who's watching, it's not real.
Yeah.
Right. Also, everybody comes from a different context. Some might have the privilege of doing all of this. Some might not have time. Some might be dealing with so many other mental health and emotional challenges. So I think it's very important to keep conversations real, talk to each other, have spaces where, and across gender, people talking about what conversations within the family, office, college, school, and media looks like, and what is it doing to me.
Agreed. And I think to add to that, not just mentally, emotionally, but also physically, we all have different body types.
Thank you.
I don't think what she's doing will work for me. What I'm doing will work for her. And if an actress is coming back into shape in 3 months, she's probably getting the best doctor advice to do that. And she can do it. You have seen actresses not getting back in shape and leaving Bollywood completely to take their time and get back into shape. So the standard of 3 months or getting back in shape in a certain time is unrealistic. I've seen people recently on social media, influencers, regular random people like us posting about their weight loss journey. They've posted something from 2020 and now they are in the best form. So it has taken people years. It will take people months, years, a decade to get to your best self. So give yourself time.
I fully agree. And also let's keep reflecting on what our best self needs to look like. I have had, when I was growing up, I had a friend, a wonderful friend of mine, but he was secretly consuming, which he told us much later, consuming raw eggs and bananas, because he would not eat with us, and there was he was going through physical health issues, and then one day he confided in two of us that I'm constantly every morning eating like 6 raw eggs and bananas because that's what somebody told him would give him a lot of muscle and would make him look like bulky, would help him bulk up. He was 18, we were 18,
Oh my
Akshaya, when this was
God.
happening. So I think that so much of information is misinformation. So much of information is also unrealistic and quick fixes. And
Yeah.
I wish we can, have these dialogues with ourselves
Yes.
that I'm okay the way I am,
Yes.
like she rightly said, Akshaya said, we're coming with different body types, with
Yeah.
different skin colors, with different genetics,
Yeah.
height, and it's okay. I think there's so much beauty in the uniqueness that,
Yes.
and I know it's easier said than done, but there is a lot of beauty in all our uniquenesses and differences.
So I don't want to end this with how we regularly do it, right? I don't want to say,
Okay.
suggest recommendations or advices, or I don't want to do that. I want to do something more real.
Okay.
Let's share something that we have broken for ourselves. Something that
Akshaya,
yeah.
Wow.
Something that you used to face as when you were growing up, very recently either, or whatever you have gone through in your body image aspect, and now you have come out of it.
First of all, I'm fully surprised with this question because I know we discussed things before.
Yeah.
We come on screen, but and I love this. I love the originality of Akshaya. She does this once in a while. Thank you. It's a big one, but I think I'm in a space and I'm physically safe space also, but also in my mind, I think I've worked around this. For me, weight has always been a feedback that was given to me, sometimes not in the most pleasant way, sometimes well-meaning, but a lot of times, especially in school, I think kids were really nasty in terms of calling me names and labels which I'd attached to with me for a long time. And the way I portrayed it is I masked it. So I showed that there was a lot of confidence, but inside, maybe during college, etc., it was eating me.
Yeah.
I think 2-3 people helped me a lot, and having honest conversations with them. And I want to mention them. My mom, who's never labeled me and who's always said that for me, you're the most beautiful Malvika ever. And that will always be the truth. And these are your strengths and these are your gifts. And I love you. And even when people tell you anything differently, come and talk to me because you are loved and you are adequate. So my mom. My sister was somebody I've actually moved. She was somebody who would tease me also. And then through fights, when she understood how it was affecting me, she became one of my biggest champions for my body image. She actually helped me shop for colors. If you see my wardrobe now, you will know that, I wear so many colors. But there was a time I would just hide in black.
Yeah.
So I think my sister helped me look at myself as a beautiful human being whose bodies change, whose life changes, and that it's okay. And the third person is my husband. I still remember the first time we were going on an international trip as a group of friends. We were just friends then, and this is 18-19 years back.
Yeah.
And I wanted to wear a bikini or a very, very cool swimming suit, but like skin revealing. And I was like, no, but I'm fat and there are stretch marks and people are going to look. And he said, listen, just wear it. Nobody knows us. If we were going to a foreign country, nobody knows us here. And own it. You're a water baby, right? You're going to go in the water. We are your safe space, because I was going with 5 of my very close friends and he said, just do it. We are here for you. I am here for you. And what you can do is wear it, come sit next to us for some time, and systematically we will expose the person to the stimuli. And then I'd come with a sarong, and then I said, okay. And then we walked towards the swimming pool, and then he said, are you comfortable? And then I said, okay. Then I removed the sarong, and then we took a dupki in the water.
So cute.
And a lot of my clients know this because I self-disclosed this with so many of my clients.
Yeah.
To say that you need these social connections who help you believe that there is a standard, we can reject that standard.
Yes.
Acceptance is a process and a journey, but it's a difficult and a beautiful one.
Love it.
And so these are the 3 people. And I think today, One thing I'm quite sure today I don't feel as much. I mean, I actually find myself very beautiful, if I may say so.
I love it.
In the last few years, I'm just like, look at me.
I agree.
She knows that. I'm sorry.
She says she has self praises ready, like literally. You tell
and I
her,
do a lot of self-talk too.
which
that
is good,
helps.
which is amazing, and I think I need to learn that from you. But okay.
1 minute, for anybody who's watching, this is what people thrive on. Do this for each other and for yourselves, because the body image debate we can't change in this small room, right? But what we can do is help you understand each other better and just give each other kindness and grace.
Yes. And
you go.
Okay, so with me, I was always conscious, obviously, weight, the tomboy title. But one thing that I think I want to talk about is my specs. Okay, so I've been called names, battery, four-eyed monster, and stuff like that. And again, I never thought about it, and I never did anything to remove it. But now I've changed the narrative. When I don't wear my specs, I feel less of Akshaya and as if I'm putting on a facade. And I have some kind of an issue where I feel like, okay, I'm not completely myself. Now it's a part of my identity. I want to keep it on. I don't want to get LASIK or any eye correction surgery done. I have answers to tell people why I want specs, and I like specs on me. So the idea that, I initially felt that it was something that I need to get rid of or a defect. Now I have completely moved on, and now I've changed the narrative to say that
that's so much of acceptance.
Yes, this is my identity. I come with like 4 eyes, or I can joke about it too, but same with my physique. I like that I'm curvy. Initially, I thought I had to like big hips, and I had to lose weight around my hips, and slowly talking to people, seeing a lot of different bodies, I've realized that okay, this is fine. And a lot of women say that it's good to have hips. That means you're getting ready for child bearing, and which again, it's something to make you feel better. But I like this narrative that it's okay to have big hips.
Absolutely.
And nowadays, people are getting extra work done to get big bums and big backsides and ensuring it. And I mean, again, I am naturally gifted, so I'm now accepting of that fact, and I love it. I flaunt it rather. But I understand the fact that I like working out. I like muscles.
I've seen that. I think you love working out,
and
for the fun of it. I've seen.
And I have been, people used to poke me for that too, for lifting weights or for having more, or if I did more activity, more physical activity, then it makes you look more boyish. So for example, while growing up, I used to swim. So I had really broad shoulders, right? My physique was that way. So I would look like I'm, like bulked
up. Yeah.
I enjoy swimming a lot. Okay. So I'm a complete water baby, and I love swimming. It's a sport that I wanted to compete in as a sport. But because people kept saying that your shoulders are broad, you're looking like a man, or you don't look normal, somewhere it made me maybe change tracks. So I still swim. I still love swimming, but I didn't pursue it professionally. It's not a regret. I mean, I'm very happy where I am, and maybe I wouldn't even have done very well. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't think that I stick to those norms anymore. For example, I lift weights. I love having a muscle and showing it off. I do this with my husband. Me and him have a bicep and tricep competition, like who has a better looking tricep.
And why should it be associated with gender?
And I somehow have gotten out of it, and now I want to be someone who is myself in a unique way. So not associate my looks to a relative, or to say that I look like my mom, or to say that I look like my aunts, or whatever, I take it as a compliment, but I don't associate my physical appearance with them.
Yeah.
Even if someone says that, oh, you look like your mom, you're round and happy, I take it as a compliment. I'm like, yeah, I am. She's the cutest person on the planet. So, yes, I want to look like her. So, I don't take it in the negative sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so these are my.
Yeah, I think so much of perspective and self work, and I also feel a lot of this it comes over time. I think
Yeah,
the journey of maybe
definitely.
some tears, talking to the right kind of people,
Yes.
a lot of talking to the self, reflecting.
Yeah.
Sometimes the spiritual realm of prayer helps you take so much of your self doubt there.
Yes.
So there'll be a combination of things that work for you, and like we usually say at the end of a lot of podcasts that. When a lot of things are dicey and there's a lot of vulnerability, seek professional help.
Definitely.
Whether it's a doctor, whether it's a therapist, I think professionals are trained to help in a certain way and over time. So do that.
Definitely.
We hope that this podcast, like most of our other podcasts, have helped you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you
you.
so much, Akshar. I think this episode I'm so proud of us because this is never easy.
Yes.
Anybody who talks about all of this professionally would also know it's not easy to do this in front of a screen. Thanks. Keep watching, share, like.
Yes, please share, like, subscribe. This is who we are in our bodies, and we love you.
Thank
in
you.
Your bodies.
Yeah,
your
take care of
physical
you and your
appearance.
bodies. Absolutely.
See you next time. Bye.